Hey guys, my name's Nathan Entz. I'm a novice racer with CMRA, and today I kind of want to tell you guys how to get started racing, how to, take the next step up from track days and get started racing. So, kind of to preface this, so you know where I'm coming from. I did my first track day the end of 2019, fall of 2019, on a Gixxer 600, and rode that bike until just a couple months ago. It's now the fall, summer/fall of 2021. So I did about a year of track days on the 600, about a year of racing on the 600, and then just recently switched to the SV 650 for racing and track days and stuff from now on. I'll get into why later, but so that's kind of where I'm coming from. So to preface the getting started racing, I would recommend starting with track days. Some people that I know have the first time they've been out on track has been for the license school to start racing. It's technically possible to do that, but I recommend against it. I recommend starting with track days, starting in novice, bump up to intermediate, get comfortable with people passing you. Ideally, you can be in the advanced group before you do the license school, but even if you're in intermediate, the main thing isn't pace, although that is a factor. You don't want to be out there running 5-minute laps. So you want decent pace, but the main thing is you want to be comfortable with people passing you close, and you want to be comfortable getting out of sticky situations. So if you miss your braking marker, blow into a corner way too fast, you want to know whether you can tip it in and take the corner, whether you'll have to go off into the grass. How do you control the bike once you're off into the grass? So getting that experience, knowing how to handle situations that you're uncomfortable with, I think is important as a racer. And so that's why I would recommend doing track days. I won't say, you have to do 10 track days, or you have to do a year of track days, or you have to have X amount of lap time before you start. I won't say that, it varies per person, but I would say you need some track experience before you start racing. So getting started racing is pretty intimidating. I started it fall of 2020, so about a year ago right now. Was when I started racing, and it's really intimidating. If you've just done track days, you've had racers come out in the advanced group and blow the doors off of everyone, and so it's like really intimidating. If you start racing, you're afraid that you're going to be finishing way at the back of the pack every time, and you're going to be blown out of the water. But in my experience, that's not true. As long as you can be comfortable on track in the intermediate to advanced track day groups, you'll do okay racing. You're not going to be winning races unless you're a very capable advanced rider, but you won't be coming in last. You won't be put in dangerous situations. You'll be fine. You'll be in a good spot. So try not to be intimidated. Hopefully I'll answer some questions that you're wondering right now in this video. That's kind of the purpose of me making this video, is to there was no content when I started racing about how the procedure goes. There's just like old forum posts and stuff that do answer your questions, but I kind of wanted to condense everything into a video. I don't work for CMRA, but I just this is something I wish existed when I started racing, and it still doesn't to my knowledge, so I kind of wanted to do it myself. But yeah, bottom line is don't be intimidated. So as long as you're comfortable intermediate or advanced during track days, can hold your lines, are comfortable getting past, then I would recommend just coming out and doing the license school. CMRA, which is the race organization that operates mainly out of Texas, some races in Oklahoma, and one race in Louisiana, but primarily Texas based. I live in Kansas, so the closest race to me is 2 hours. Everything else is farther away, but there's really nothing closer for me. And so I've been doing CMRA, and I love the people out there. I wouldn't do anything else. I'm glad I started with them. So that first step into racing is to do a license school. several track day organizations have their own license schools. I've never done it, and so I don't have experience with it, so I won't pretend like I do. But if you're interested in looking into it, Ride Smart and 316 Track Days each have a license school in it with coaching that is accredited, that is reciprocates with CMRA. And so if you do the license school with either of those organizations, that counts for it. I did it with the CMRA, so every race weekend that CMRA does, it's a Friday practice, Saturday and Sunday is racing. And every race weekend they do a license school on that Friday. So you can go on the website, cmraracing.com, and find when the next race is and where they are, find all the details. But every race weekend on a Friday they do the license school, with no exception pretty much. So they're very consistent about that. A license school only costs $85, so it's like less than half the price of a track day. It's incredibly cheap. And what the license school is Friday morning, so from, I don't know, 7 to noon, something like that, you'll be in the classroom learning from Danny Dominguez, which is, he's a great guy, very professional, very fast, very knowledgeable racer. He teaches the school, and he goes through the book of, what do the flags mean? What is the start procedure? How do you get comfortable with people passing you close, stuff like that. So that's the morning session, and then there's a test. But as long as you even pay a little bit of attention in the class, you'll pass the test. Just it's not like, don't worry about the test. If you're there to learn and there to race, you'll pass the test. And so then around noon you'll go out for practice sessions. So you get probably, I think, like 3 practice sessions, 15-minute sessions, and then you have a mock race at the end of the day after that. And that's where they go through the whole procedure, lights out, start the race, do 8 laps, checkered flag. So it doesn't count for anything. It doesn't count for points. You don't have a transponder on your bike. It's just to get practice, racing wheel to wheel with someone, because it is really different from track days. Obviously the mechanics of riding the bike are the same, but in a track day it's just, if I get by that guy, maybe I can go faster and drop my lap times and have more fun. But in racing, it's like, I have to get by that guy. I'm racing for position, that kind of thing. And so that mindset is a lot different. It's a lot more fun, in my opinion. I love racing. In my experience, street riding to track days is like so much more fun. Track days to racing is like that amount more fun. I just love it. And so anyway, that's the mock race at the end of the day for the license school. If you pass the test before lunch, and if you don't crash during the practice sessions and you finish the mock race, then you'll get your provisional novice license. What that means is but one more thing I forgot to mention that I should touch on. You are required to have an AMA membership to do this. So you can sign up for it with CMRA on the day, on Friday, or you can sign up for it ahead of time. But you do need an AMA membership. And with that, you get free roadside assistance for motorcycles, cars, your tow rigs. You get roadside assistance for everything included with that price. So it's definitely worth it, but that is one thing I forgot to mention. If you don't sign up for it ahead of time, don't worry about it. You can sign up for it at the track. So if you finish the license school on Friday, you get your provisional novice license, and you have to pick a number, put it on your bike. I'm 221 and I'm a novice. We'll talk in a different video about how to go from novice to expert. You pick your number, and then you can sign up for racing on Saturday or Sunday. But you have to wear a yellow shirt anytime you're out on track as a provisional novice. The way that you get rid of that shirt and become a novice licensed racer, there are 4 requirements. So 2 of them are the same, and 2 of them are the same. So there's 2 requirements, but you have to do them 2 times. So for simplicity, 4 requirements. Requirement number 1 is do a race weekend where you do at least 2 races and you don't crash. Number 2 is do a race weekend where you do at least 2 races and you don't crash. Number 3 is you have to corner work on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday. And number 4 is you have to corner work on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday, but it can't be the same day that you do this. So you can't do Friday, Friday, or Saturday, Saturday, or Sunday, Sunday. You have to do like Saturday, Sunday. So those are the 4 requirements. 1 race weekend without crashing, that includes practice sessions, warm-ups, races. Do the same thing another weekend, and then you have to do 2 days of corner working on different days from each other. And so it's possible to do all those requirements in 2 weekends. That's how I did it. So I did my first weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My first weekend was license school on Friday, racing on Saturday and didn't crash, and then corner working on Sunday. And so then that's 2 of the 4 requirements done. My second race weekend, again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, was Friday practice. You don't have to do the license school again. So Friday practice, then I corner worked on Saturday, and then I raced on Sunday. And then I was done. Just so long as you don't crash, then you're done. And so those are your requirements for to lose the yellow shirt and become a license holding novice racer. And so one thing I do want to touch on is bike selection, what kind of bike to use. It's the type, like the brand doesn't matter. This is a Suzuki SV650 2005. That's what I'm racing on now. I used to race a Gixxer 600. In another video I'll go into why I switched. But and then this is just my friend's Yamaha FZ1. For the license school, so that Friday, you can use any bike just as long as it's prepped like for a track day. So tape up the lights, pull the fuses for the lights, just basic stuff like that. You need obviously helmet, leathers. It can be a 2-piece as long as it zips together for the license school. And then you need boots. So boots, gloves, helmet, suit. And then just regular track day prep for the bike. But if you do racing Saturday and Sunday, you do need a race prepped bike, which means bodywork, after like fiberglass bodywork with no lights installed. You need things to be safety wired, which I'll go into later. It's not hard to do, but you do have to drill and safety wire bolts, and you need a transponder, which you can rent or buy. Again, we'll get into that later. That's not super important right now. So kind of in conclusion for bike selection, if you are very interested in racing and you think you're going to be racing for a while, I would get a bike that's already been race prepped. This SV650 I bought for $1,900 just a couple months ago. It's already been race prepped. I painted it and did some other things here and there, but it has a Gixxer front end swap. It has a traction dynamics shock. It has a slipper clutch. It's been set up really well, and it was $1,900. If I go to sell it, I can get at least that out of it. And so if you keep your eyes open for a track bike, unless you're buying like a very new track bike, you're not going to lose money on it. This is a 2005. It's not going to depreciate in the next 5 or 10 years any meaningful amount. If I went out and bought a 2021 ZX-10R, and spent $18,000 on it and spent another $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 track prepping it, I'm obviously not going to get that money out of it when I go to sell it. But if you get something older like this, that's already been race prepped, let someone else take that depreciation and spend all that money on the aftermarket parts, the exhaust, the suspension, the bodywork, and then just go buy something like that. Plus that means you don't have to do all the drilling out and safety wiring. You don't have to do all the body work and painting and stuff like that. You can get one ready to go for very inexpensive. This SV650 was $1,900. My Gixxer 600 I bought for $2,500. So there are plenty of bikes out there less than $5,000 that'll be fun and competitive. And I've been winning races on this. Again, we'll go into that later. But the bike doesn't matter nearly as much as the rider. Just get something that's race prepped, ready to go, and not ludicrously expensive and not brand new. That's pretty much all I have. I'll do more videos of getting started racing, how to safety wire your bike, how to transport to the track, how to race on a budget, you know, how to improve your skills. Again, I'm a novice racer. I'm not the most knowledgeable person, the most expert person out there. But I think it's valuable to hear from someone like me who's fresh into this versus someone who's been doing it for 20 years and kind of doesn't remember how they felt when they were first getting started. Another note is a lot of the people that race didn't start racing until they were 40 or 50 years old. And so I'm 23. Had to think about that one. But like whatever age you are, it's not too late or not too early to start racing. There are kids that are, you know, 10 years old doing the Groms and mini bikes, and there are people who are 75 years old who are racing in other classes. And so whatever age, whatever skill level, you're welcome to come. There are so many friendly people out there that'll help you. You know, if you don't have your bike safety wired for the license school and you come and want to race on Saturday and Sunday, there are people there that'll help you safety wire your bike. If you go down, there are people giving you, lending you, selling you spare parts, and helping you put the bike back together. Everyone is so helpful. So if you're interested in racing, bring your bike out and do the license school. Even if you don't end up racing that weekend, bring your bike out, just track day prep it, like taping stuff off, pulling fuses, and do the license school. And once you're out there, talk to people about, you know, thinking about racing. I'm thinking about getting into it. You can do your corner working that first weekend if you want, if you're not ready to race. So yeah, in conclusion, come out and race. It's fun. Everyone's really helpful. Everyone's really friendly. If you see me out there, come say hi. If you need anything, I have spare parts for SV650s and for Gixxers. I can, you know, lend a hand fixing it, safety wiring it, whatever. So wanted to start out by making this video. Like I said, I'll do others like how to safety wire your bike, how to race on a budget. So stay tuned for those videos. But thanks for watching. Have a good one.